2 months ago, I began my post-South by Southwest gaming coverage with the racing platformer known as Action Henk. Their early access build was one of the better work-in-progress games I played. Then, not too long after the preview, the developers revealed that the game was going to release on May 11th of this year. Now I've experienced the final build, and not much has changed, which isn't a bad thing as there wasn't a lot to improve on, and there's just more of everything. For those of you who haven't seen my preview, Action Henk is a simple racing platformer where you run, jump, slide, and sometimes swing your way to the finish line as fast as possible. There are now 7 worlds to test your racing skills to the limits, and you can choose to go about these races with competing against a bronze, silver, gold, or rainbow ghosts to achieve medals upon victory, or compete against your friends or the top leaderboard time, and have the option to send a turn message to the player if you beat their time. If you achieve gold medals on all the world's courses, you can unlock a bonus stage where you are to complete a specific challenge to unlock a special character skin. The core gameplay is very easy to learn, but the levels require a bit of a learning curve. When you master the level's structure, you achieve a delightful sense of speed that we all miss from the Sonic the Hedgehog games. As most critics have pointed out, Action Henk is extremely repetitive. I don't actually mind this at all, as the gameplay is refreshing enough to where you feel the joy of restarting the same course to later receive a much faster time, which restarting can happen instantly with the press of a button. This level of satisfaction is unfortunately not present in the mundane boss races, which have actually become worse than they were in the early access build. In the boss races, you are challenged to getting to the finish line before your opponent, in order to unlock the character or skin that you are competing against. Going really fast is a replace in favor for carefully playing your jumps, slides, and swings, for one false move will lead to an instant defeat. It doesn't help that the new boss races enforce this heavily to a tedious level. Another issue to point out is the lazy story, where in very few levels of the game, you're treated to a cinematic that features top-notch voice acting used to spew out catchphrases that make very little sense of what's going on in the brief scene, preventing a possible fun competition story from ever taking place. Lastly, there doesn't seem to be any toy gadgets other than the grapple hook, which is a letdown. You could infer that this game might have degraded in quality from the early access build, but there's 2 things that prevent a lower score from happening. The level editor is just as fun to use as it was in my preview, and now with more customization on the blocks and templates to build on. You might not be able to go so in depth as to change the skins of your blocks, and you cannot create your own challenge courses inspired by the nice bonus stages. Still, there's enough to make your dream speed course become a reality, and you can share it on Steam Workshop for others to try. The greatest addition to the full release would be the spectacular multiplayer mode, where you and up to 19 other toys can compete for the best time. You can set a time limit for each course, and you have as many redos as you personally can make to top your opponent's time for until the match timer runs out. It's about as simple as the rest of the game, yet it's also hectic and endless fun, especially when there's 20 toys speeding on the track. The only criticism I can give is that your selection of levels are tailored to some of the world courses, instead of your favorite custom course or the bonus challenges. Presentation-wise, the graphics are still impressive, and the music still encourages you to go on a marathon. Simply put, Action Henk took a few steps back and 1 step forward, almost placing an enjoyable stamp. Though thanks to the level editor and the multiplayer, it's a good racing platformer.